Okay, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to discuss another decision point I had to make relative to whether or not I should place my telescopes into a remote observatory. And then I'll also be going over an image that I just processed, which kind of ties into the whole thing about should I go into a remote observatory or not. Hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to the channel. So, where do we start? One of the things that I had a concern about is over the past few years, I've developed a backlog of data that I've not yet processed. And so the question came to my mind, if I'm going into a remote observatory with two telescopes and I can image more nights conceivably each month, many factors to be considered in that statement, will I be actually producing more data? And if I'm not processing quickly everything that I've already collected, then this backlog is just going to grow. So let me just kind of show you. Here is my current backlog. Now, part of my challenge on why I have this backlog is I have so many things going on that it's hard for me sometimes to just sit down. You know, I'm out playing pickleball, or I used to be bowling on a bowling league, and I like to stay active, and then sometimes just sitting my butt in the chair doesn't happen, and that's got to change. The other thing is trying to process my data when I'm out in the field during the daylight hours on a smaller screen. If you saw my setup here, I have three monitors, and that gives me more real estate to work with and everything. But let's take a look at my backlog over here. I've got the Bubble Nebula. I already have one image up on Astrobin, but that was shot with my Edge HD8. So here's one captured with the Red Cat 51. Again, I have some data from the Cone Nebula that I collected with my Edge HD8. Cygnus Loop that I just captured in October and November new moon period. The Dumbbell Nebula, which is an Edge HD image. It's partially processed. Okay, let me bring this over here. But it's not totally processed yet, so I need to fix that. And so let's go back up. I have the Fish Head Nebula, Jellyfish Nebula, Leo Triplet. It's kind of small. I don't know if I'm going to process that. The galaxies look really small when you use a 250 millimeter field of view or focal length. I have the North American Nebula that I collected some time ago, the Seagull Nebula, the Spaghetti Nebula that I'm going to share with you in this video, the Teddy Bear Nebula, and then the Witchhead Nebula. So, I said to myself, Bill, you're not processing the data that you're collecting. Why is that? And really, there were several reasons. One, I had data all over the place. I've got a network attached storage. I've got direct attached storage with mirrored drives. I've got two different field hard drives that I back data up, and I had data spread all over. And I spent the last 2 days compiling it all, moving it into one place, making sure it's protected on my network attached storage. And so now I've got a better view of everything that I've got to do yet in front of me. So that was definitely one thing. The other thing is, and this kind of ties into my decision on a remote observatory, is I was never really sure I had collected enough data. And so I was kind of waiting in some cases for more time on that target, an ability to get more time on that target. And I thought of several other excuses. The thing is, I was just, maybe I have ADD or something, but I just had a hard time sitting my butt in the chair. And but I've committed myself to do it differently now, and so I'm going to work this queue down over the next several weeks. And I'm going to take the approach that the first time through in the processing doesn't necessarily need to be the last time. And I think unless I really process the data, I can't really tell if I have enough signal or not, in a sense. Do I have enough data or not? And so I'm kind of reshaping how I'm thinking about doing the image processing side of this hobby. And in particular, I did get a lot of enjoyment, setting up the telescopes, being out in the field with them and all that, but that's all going away. So now I really just need to turn my focus onto the image processing side. And I think I can do that. And I think I have a pretty good workflow now. The workflow that I use, I just put that up there. Where is my... So if you saw some of my past videos, you'll be aware that I did purchase some training from Astrodoc, Ron Breacher, and as part of that training, I was able to record the session, so I can basically use the session here, and I can just play back the video on the parts that I don't quite remember. Again, it's about proficiency. It's about doing the task often enough, and also increasing your knowledge on why are you doing that particular step, and what's the difference between a temporary stretch and a permanent stretch, and why do you do a temporary stretch versus a permanent stretch, and those type of things. So I've got a lot to consider there. And then, so I have this training aid in a sense. I purchased training with Ron, excellent teacher. Really like the way he teaches. You can also find him on Masters of PixInsight, him and Warren. And I can highly recommend Ron's teaching style if you're interested in getting some instruction around PixInsight. Also, as part of that, Ron shared with me his icon set and also what settings for the different processes that he has found through his experience to be not the most successful, but to be a successful starting point. And then the great thing about PixInsight is you can tweak the settings and run that process again to see if maybe there's a better result based upon changing the settings. And what I have here is basically my workflow, so I can just work right down the icon stack and get those things done. And let's see, was there anything else over on this other screen that I wanted to call out? No. Okay, so I called out my backlog. I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, I just didn't make it a priority, and now I'm going to make it a priority. I have to, because I'm going to be creating more data. So let's get into what I think I'm going to gain by going into a remote observatory, and will also take away one of the excuses that I had for not processing the data, because I wasn't sure that I had collected enough signal to get a good image. And so let's take a look here at what do I have here. So here is my latest image, and this is Sharpless 2-240, also known as the Spaghetti Nebula. Now, what I wanted to share here is And let's bring this up. And this kind of gave me an idea of how much time I might need to have. So the data set that I have here, that image that was used to process that image, effectively have 25 plus hours of data capture, broken down by roughly 9 hours for HA, using 5-minute subs, 300 seconds, 7 hours and 20 minutes of S2, and a correction of O3, and 8 hours and 45 minutes of S2. So again, I think what the remote observatory is going to allow me to do is to collect more data. When I go out to the field, and I'm going to be out there maybe 3-4 nights, in the past I've been trying to do more targets instead of targets with more time on them, so that I can make sure that I'm collecting enough signal to get a good quality image. Now, it just so happens that the Spaghetti Nebula, it's a very faint, low surface type of target. I knew going in that I'd probably have to put a lot of hours into it as far as data capture, and I think I could have easily used another 20 hours of data. Now, the great thing for me is, since I'm a user of Nina, I just build, and I use Tom Palmer's Target Scheduler plugin. I just build a project file in a Target Scheduler, and I associate an exposure plan. And I think for this I had, I was going for like 105 5-minute exposures per filter. And so I was very fortunate to string a couple of nights together in early October, and then several nights in November by going down to Borrego Springs, where, I don't know, I think I had 5-6 nights of imaging, and Target Scheduler would image Cygnus Loop for the first part of the evening because it was available, and then it would switch around 30 minutes after midnight to Sharpless 2240, the Spaghetti Nebula. And so I think what I'm in a position to do now is to put more time in per target. Again, until I get my scopes into the remote observatory and can actually prove this out, I won't really know. But what I'm anticipating is I'm going to be shooting these targets over several months based upon its availability, and I can prioritize within Target Scheduler projects, so Target Scheduler knows what my higher priority targets are, and I don't really have to do a lot of manual intervention other than building that project file, in a sense, within Target Scheduler, associating an exposure plan with it, and then I just kind of will sit back, and Target Scheduler is going to manage all that. And already when I was out with my scopes in the field, some nights I saw a Target Scheduler hit 4 different targets. And I think that's going to be a big plus. And anyway, so this is, given my current skills, what I've been able to produce. This is an HOO. I do have the start of a Hubble palette, so SHO, and I'm going to work with this as well and see what this looks like. and then I'll make a decision. What I've been doing is when I combine in my workflow, after I use WBPP, then I do a linear fit, and then I use combine RGB, and then this is where I can do HOO or SHO, and so I can create multiple combines in a sense, and then see which one I like, which one is more pleasing to me, and then choose that one, develop it all the way through the workflow to see what the result looks like, and then I can always come back with a different palette and go ahead and work that. So that's basically what I have here. And then let's see, where is that at? I want to go over to, no, that's not it. Get rid of that. I thought I had another one over here. Yep. So let's go back over to this monitor. So I I did post this image, and I consider this to be version 1. And again, version 1 of the HOO palette. So, I kind of got an idea what it looks like. There may be some things that I can do differently. I can bring this back through the workflow, change some settings, and see if I can get an improved result. But overall, I'm not unhappy about how this turned out. And what makes me the most excited or pleased is that, I'm asking myself, man, 25 hours on a target. I've never done that before. I don't think I've done more than 12, or maybe like when I did a 2-panel mosaic of Cygnus Loop when I had my Zenithstar 61, combined over, I think, 3 nights, but per panel, I don't even think I exceeded 12 hours per panel. So I kept thinking, man, 25 hours. And I kept checking, I kept blinking, and everything was really, really faint. And so, I didn't run it through WBPP, and I didn't integrate it to see what the what things look like. And I just say to myself, just keep going, try and get to 30 hours on this target and see what happens, And I think, I got it to 25. I'm happy with it now that I've replaced my ASI 294mm with the ASI 2600mm on my RedCat 51. I'm not going to put any more time on this image per se. I'll shoot this target again when it comes around next year using the ASI 2600mm. The other thing, with the ASI 294mm, it has a micro 4/3 processor. So if we go back over here to PixInsight, you'll probably see where I wasn't able to properly frame the whole target. But with my field of view that I'll have with the 2600mm on the RedCat 51, I'll be able to catch the whole target. I like this target. It's an interesting target. It's a supernova remnant, and not unlike, in a sense, the Veil Nebula or Cygnus Loop. It's kind of, filamenty with nebulosity and everything. So it's just kind of a interesting target to me, and I'm glad I spent the time. So I don't know. I think a lot of things are coming together for me. I think I can commit to processing the data in a timely fashion. I think I have the right mindset now. I think I've cleaned up my data hygiene, where I've now got a good workflow on where things go and when they go there. And so what's going to be happening once these telescopes are in the remote observatory, every morning that I image the night before, new data files should show up on my Google Drive, which I can then bring down and put onto my local storage infrastructure, and then start the process of blinking and looking through the data and those type of things. So I think I'll have a much better workflow. On the processing side of the equation, I'm probably going to purchase some more training with Ron. There's been several new things available in PixInsight, so I think it'll be worth my time to spend some time with him. I still have not really successfully blended luminous in with with narrowband, or I haven't blended HA in with RGB. So there's some things there that I could use some pointers on. Also, I'm going to start checking out at the suggestion of Greg Mayers. He suggested SETI Astro has some interesting tools for PixInsight, so I'll start to check that out. But now, you know, once these telescopes leave my house here and we get them down into the observatory, I won't be able to put my hands on that stuff. So I'm going to start focusing my time more on the image processing side. And I think I'll actually keep my word to myself this time around. So anyway, oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to say on Astrobin, that's where you'll find my images. The number of images should be increasing here quickly as I work down my backlog. And I always make sure that I put the technical details in so people can have some idea of what it took to produce the necessary signal to create an image like this. So, I guess I had 26 hours and 5 minutes of data capture on this target. So, all right. Again, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I don't really know what I want to do as far as sharing what I'm doing in PixInsight going forward. There's so many good people out there already that have great workflows, and I'm not sure that I can add anything to the equation. But I will kind of do a reveal as I process the image data. I'll do some sort of reveal around the target, and if there's anything I want to call out relative to it, I'll do that. But I still haven't got the scheme yet for those type of videos. So if you have any ideas on what you might like to see, please leave a comment, and those are always appreciated. All right. Thanks again. Clear skies.